Pasha Paro, Y7. Thank you for tuning. The replay. Big boy Peps. Big boy Pep for my peeps. All right. I think we got everything set here. Let's get into it. Got a lot to cover for you today. I got busy yesterday. I was doing the research on the market and everything, and I was looking for that next big thing. And you know how it is, guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. You go through tens of stocks, and I was looking at a lot of different companies. Rather, let me say it like that. And a lot of the ones I was interested in was private at the moment. So there's no entry into them right now, but they're gonna maybe a chance in the future. However, I did find some things for you today. We're gonna talk about them. I'll give you the itinerary, so because I know my videos have some length to them, to have some girth to the knowledge that we're dropping in them. And like I always tell you guys, if you're looking for the little 4 or 5 minute video that says, hey, this is what I'm getting into, you get into it too, bye, and don't tell you nothing, then you might be at the wrong channel unless we're doing a quick review, even those are like 10 minutes. So what we're going to go over is Titan Medical, right? We're going to start there. We're going to hit Nspr. I'm going to give you a little drop of TNX. And then I got what I think the long-term play of the century is going to be. And I'm going to give it to you today. So stay with me for that. You're definitely going to want to hear about it if you're a long-term player. Let's get into it. So the first thing we have is Tmdi. So in researching further TRXC, it came up that there was a similar company, Tmdi, which is Titan Medical, that's ironically doing something fairly similar. As you can see by the chart, actually at a fairly similar position in the company, price action, and their price action is almost in sync with each other. So this one closed, the P.E.P closed at 263, looks to be on its way back to test that 319 that it hit the other day. Like I said, very similar to TRXC and in similar position. Now, once it holds 329, it's on its way to 376 to 471, which makes it a great buy even at 263. So, you know what I'm looking for now. I'm looking for the ones that we can get in and we can double or better and then sell half and let it ride. Why not? The strategy seems to be working really well. So why not have both? I'm looking at give me both of them, because the thing about this opportunity here with these robotic surgical gizmos is, one, these two companies are really, really great with patent pending technology, cutting edge, this and that and the other, and their major competitors are companies that are well established and conglomerates. So they may have high 2-digit or 3-digit share price already, but they may have their hands in a bunch of other stuff, etc. So if we were to buy into that company solely for the results or the success of their surgical robot rollout, it's not going to have a major push on the share price, because they do a whole bunch of different things, and that'll be, even though it's new technology for them, it'll just be a small drop in a bucket for them. So these two companies, however, this is what they're focusing on. This is what they do. And you're going to directly see the success of their rollouts. Although they're at different points in their rollout position, they both have some hurdles to overcome. They both have slightly different versions of doing the same thing, and that's great because that's diversity, and that means that this group is gonna like this one better, and this group is gonna like that one better, and they're both gonna win. And in reality, in a lot of opportunities, you have to consider that, the company with the largest market cap is going to grab the largest share, and they're going to be able to do this, that, and the other, and they're going to get all the business. Well, that's not actually going to be the case with this product line, because one, like I said, they're such a small percentage of what they do. They're just getting into it because they can. They may or may not have the better product, although they may have the most money in comparison. But they have the most money, but they have to keep that balance and spread out among all the things that they're doing. So that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be able to just dump like all of their resources into making sure they got the best robot. You know what I'm saying? So even if they are equal to, slightly better than, slightly below, in the same ballpark, of the surgical robot game arena, imagine how many hospitals around the world are going to want to order this. You know what I mean? Think about your city, your county, your state. How many are around you? And then, how many are in the U.S.? How many are in Canada? How many? So there's going to be a need for a lot of these as soon as thumbs up is it's okay to use them. So all the companies are going to be able to eat and benefit from this. Now, when you look at the website, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the website. We went over in depth transit, so you can actually take your time and look this over yourself, but this I'll at least let you see what the equipment looks like. This is what their website looks like. They're calling theirs Enos, and you see it's similar. It has a little different setup. It has a single tube for entry, where TRXC was looking at potentially multiple entries and maybe even 4. So there's going to be pros and cons to each unit, and that means that people are going to see the need for each unit in different opportunities and price budgets, depending on how much of a difference there is in cost. So I'm looking for both of them to have significant growth over the next however long, and let's just get both of them in with us, so we all can enjoy that. Now, so take your time and go look at the website here. This is pretty much the intro page. Like I said, gives you some details, gives you their forward looking, introduces you to the product, among other stuff. Okay, so let me see here. Well, that's from the website. I can actually show you that real quick. Hold on. I was looking at some content from them. But that is a picture of their unit in comparison. So there you go. That's the website. Go there, check them out. And if you look over there on the left, that's what their unit looks like in comparison to the other brands. And they have a single tube that's going to come in and have the arms come out and do all this. It kind of looks like the little things off the Matrix, like when you start to look at it, how it's built, and the little So check them out. I'm gonna grab up 1,000 shares just to start with, and go from there. So next on the list we have Nspr. All right, so this one closed at 69 cents. I got into it with 1,000 shares on the 20th, and I got into it thinking, from my little graphing there, we would see 90 cents the next day, which it kind of did in after hours. It hit 89 cents, and the pre-market and everything, it started to decline. It was still up for the day on the 21st. The 27th, it dropped a little bit and came back. But I'm thinking long term, this will be another one that's going to give you a good opportunity, because once it gets over 91 cents, it should be on its way to $1.12. How long that's going to take, I'm not certain. but once it gets in that vicinity, you're looking at almost doubling, almost having that double play. So by the time we get to 140, you can go ahead and sell off half, let it ride, however you want to do it. If you're rocking with me. I'm looking for these particular ones here now, the ones I'm giving you, because they're fitting the mold of what I'm looking for in this strategy. Like I want to get about 10, if I can, 10 or 20 stocks that all my shares are now free or close to free, and withdraw, my original investment so that it's protected. So this one is definitely one that I feel like is going to surge. And if we take a look at that real quick here, what they got going on is they're Israeli, right? No, they're not. Excuse me. No, they are Israeli. So what they're doing is, the stents and everything. So they got the technology that they're working on with cardiac patients and stuff in that situation. So if you look at here, the technology eliminates the need for a tapered version that supports the accurate vessel wall. Their products combines open cell flexibility with ultra close cell micro mesh to trap and seal plaque. So that's what you saw on that picture there. And that data has safety, stroke efficiency, all that good stuff. So some of the events is October. Hold on. Here we go. So they just came out with their financial results in November. So it means we got some good time to the next earnings report. So that's good. What I want to show you here is hold on a second. All right, so we go back to looking at this picture. So basically, what it does is it holds the artery open and also blocks the plaque in the artery and stuff. So I'm not gonna bore you too much with the details of this one, but apparently the mesh and the new design is really has a lot more benefit compared to the old way of doing it. So it's gonna add value, and I think they said they're looking at about $1,600 per splint, and if you figure how many they need per each use, they're gonna be making a lot of money really soon. So to get in at sub $1, with health being a real key playing factor in world talks right now, this technology should by default be its own stimulus. You know what I'm saying? So let's take a look here. Hold up. All right, so this is their leadership board. The CEO and the CFO both have experience at GE, for better or for worse. And you have Pfizer. So you know these names. Now the chairman, Fidelity, right? Successful entrepreneurship, medical device industry. Look at this, Boston Scientific. Now, their MD their director, Heartflow. Okay. So I think for what they're doing, they got an okay team in front of them. So that's good. And this is still awaiting conversion, but as you can see here, some numbers that favor what they got going on compared to what's out there before. Again, you can check out this website. So stroke is the second biggest cause of death, right? So they can help a lot of people. 6.2 million deaths, 5 million people are left permanently disabled. So between the 6.2 and 5, that's 11 million right there. $34 billion associated with stroke management in the U.S. alone. So they can help a lot of people, and there'll be a great bit of compensation for it. Here's what I wanted to show you right here. So the risk of complications, procedural posts. Now, it shows you the bare stent deployment and then their apparatus and how it goes in and how they can open it up and hold open the artery and hold back the plaque. So I don't know. I want to do some more research. But from what I've seen, it's worth grabbing 1,000 shares at this point and for the near future. I don't know if this is like dragging it out and cleaning out the plaque or if it just holds open, but the netting, what's important and what's different is the netting. This right here, see? The old conventional way has I'm gonna have a PhD by the time we get all these stocks done. Look, all this medical stuff, but the old way was bare. There you go. That's the right word. Bare or dual. So basically, when you scrape it through or whatever it is that it's doing, like the plaque could fall through and it wouldn't be as effective. So with this mesh added to their version, it really gives it like a fish net. Like if this was fishing, you're gonna capture more fish with a tighter loop net than you would with the big holes in the net, right? So look at it like that. There you go. So take your time, check this out on your own. It's a lot of information here. I want to get to the telecom giant of the future. So come back to this at your own leisure and check out their website, and we'll go from there. So that is Nspr. Now, let's see here, because I got a lot of stuff going on for you. Let me see what I got here. All right. So now here is Tonix Pharmaceuticals. I'll probably come back and do another video on them a little later in its entirety, because this one's pretty cool. You can see here go to overall stock chart, right, per Google, and you can see it's got this nice upward curve. Now what I'm really interested in is historically in the last year we had 1, 2, 3. You could count this as 4, but let's say at least 3. So 4, almost to the date, spikes above $1.50. And with this nice upward push here, it's basically at $1. Where I'm looking at this as it's going back to retest at least that dollar within in the last year, that $1.50 plus. So this is gonna be a great stock to get into for at least a 30% gain over however long that takes, maybe a couple weeks or a month maybe. But if you look at the 5-year, of course, no. When these do this, I think we'll talk about stocks that do that later. But as you can see here, in 2018, it was $400 a share. So we could easily get back to $1.50, and I think it has some great potential going forward. Now, going to their website real quick. See here. So, grab like 1,000 shares of that and just see how long it takes you to get a third of your money back off of that. You might double quick. You might see $2 relatively quick, and then we can exit out half of that, right? So, but what they're into is, let's look at their pipeline here. General overview. We can see them all. So here's what I know. A lot of people are talking about this. I ain't gonna say a lot of people. A lot of people aren't talking about this, but the people that are, they're focusing on the COVID situation, and I think that's not why I would get into this stock. Why I would get into this stock, because one, they're all preclinical, okay, which means they haven't even started the clinicals yet, which means they got to go through all that situation, and that takes time, money, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then the FDA can make their decision on it based off the clinical results. So any of the COVID factors, even though that one is a prioritized program, the TNXP 1800. To me, it's a long time off as far as seeing the results. They may have some announcements that cause the stock to spike or jump related to COVID, announcements. But I don't think that the big payoff or they're gonna have a vaccine. I could be wrong. Relatively soon. So I don't think the reason to get into this stock would be because of anything dealing with COVID. However, when you look down here, this one right here is even questionable. The rheumatoid arthritis or the however you say that word, right? You know what I'm talking about. It's there on your screen. So that's going on phase 3 already, which means it's the closest to rollout. Now, here's what I do like. PTSD, right? The PTSD is becoming more and more huge in the sense of, one, post-traumatic situations, and whether that's military all the way down to your AAAD or whatever it is in some of my other research, even a year or so ago or better. The AAAD is now, for like the last decade, quietly been accepting the fact that when you look into what's considered a toxic workplace, a toxic workplace is, we went over, I did a video on that on the YNet7 channel. Go check it out. I think it was titled "Quit Your Job, Doctor's Orders," right? So we broke all that down. But the thing is, they're saying that the quote unquote toxic workplace, which surprisingly sounds like any job almost when you look at what they're considering toxic workplace, but is producing the same effects on the body as post-traumatic stress disorder. Okay? So when you consider the fact that they're now accepting and filing disability claims for workplace-induced PTSD, just simply from the toxic workplace standpoint, I could see the value of this right here that's in phase 3 becoming really valuable. And then you got the other stuff like this one down here, Alzheimer's, and this is all on TNX 102, and that's phase 2 ready. So there'll be an announcement with that soon, and that'll probably all these announcements will cause little jumps in the stock. Now, alcohol use disorder, okay, whatever that is, whatever the disorder of alcohol use is, they got something for that. But here's the other part that I really think is powerful, and that's this right here. Depression. Okay. So the depression factor, right, is going to be huge because, don't quote me on this, I'm no expert in financial advice. It's not financial advice. It's for your entertainment only. This is my thoughts and my moves with my own log that I'm sharing with you guys. And I enjoy the conversation. If you have something to look into, share. We can look it over together and grow from there. I appreciate all the people that done sent stocks for review, and we talked about them offline and everything. So this is really interesting and really good. So what and I'm obviously not a medical professional, but what I'm looking at is the fact that between the PTSD being now quietly a reason to get a valid disability claim, and the conditions of the world, as if depression wasn't already on the rise. The fact that you had to spend a year inside the house, all your basic fun has been not malicious. I'm not gonna say it was maliciously done, but we haven't been able to be entertained and enjoy ourselves for a lot of people for a long time, and I think that's going to create a spike in depression, right? So this right here is timely. The PTSD and the depression factors, I think, will be of great service to the community as a whole in the very near future, and if they can time it right, they're set to capitalize heavily on that. Okay, So that's why I would be interested in this company, not so much for the COVID, and that's why I bought into it for those reasons. So now this one right here, all right, you got to hear me out on this one. This is gonna be the money for you long-term people right here, and this is what I wanted to get into you primarily today. So this is VEON, okay. If you heard about this company already, just let me know in the comments below. The P.E.P closed at $1.80, and they brought in Ursula Burns, not directly from Xerox, but she really spent like 38 years at Xerox doing her thing. And basically, she's that was her goal to make some changes, handle some challenges they were going through. They've cleared a lot of those hurdles, if not all of them. And so she's passing off the torch. And now the company's aligned for, I think, the future goals. Now, 10 years ago, I know that's like an eternity in the stock world, but hear me out. Excuse me. 10 years ago, this stock was $20 a share. Okay. So the next ladder rung back up, going, based on that gradual fall over 10 years, is $5.58 to $8.32. Like, that's the next zone. It's in a zone now, but the next zone up is $5.58 to $8.32. Now, what's timely about this is the first time this stock has been up 3 months in a row since 2017. Okay? We're into 2021, and this stock hasn't seen 3 green months back to back since 2017. I think that's a good sign. I'm going to tell you why. A very good sign. Now, compare this to, without my typos, compare this to Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, and U.S. Cellular, which I took some notes on their current stock value. Verizon's at $57.47. AT&T is at $28.93. T-Mobile, them and Sprint did they thing. They're collectively at $130.36, and U.S. Cellular is at $33.83. Okay, now VEON's next earning reports is March 12th, so we got time to for this stock to run up towards earnings without any anything subject to change or anything can happen. So there's no magic gold blanket of safety, but we had that long before the earnings call, so we can see what happens going forward. Now let's take a look at them. All right. So here you can see what they've been doing. It's been on an upward tick since November. So if you go back and look, like I said, it was at $20 one point. But here's what I want you to get. Here's where the opportunity comes in, the massive opportunity, because the stock or this company is it says a Dutch domiciled multinational telecommunication services. Now we know telecommunications, telecom, is huge, especially since COVID has exposed the benefits of them, right? So multinational telecommunication services company headquartered in Amsterdam, Netherlands. It predominantly operates services in the regions of Asia, Africa, and Europe. All right. It is the 9th largest mobile network operator in the world by number of subscribers, at least when this was documented, at 214 million customers. So it says it was founded in Moscow, Russia, okay, 2009. Now let's take a look at their website. Now, I don't know what this is, but it sounds good. Beeline AI to the rescue in Russia. I mean, it looks like they could be pinpointing a lost person. I don't know. Didn't really get into that article about it, but there's a lot of stuff here to cover, so I'm going to show you what I did find for us. Okay. Now, if you look at the about us, let's look at the leadership real quick. So now here are the the new co-chief CEOs, right? Feel free to come in here and take a look at this. This is their group, their team. Here's what I want to talk about: the brands. All right. So when we get into this, now they have all of this stuff, right? Now look at the markets they got. They got Russia. You're gonna get out Russian money, right? You got Pakistan. You got Ukraine. You got Kazakhstan. You got Uzbekistan, Bangladesh, Algeria, Georgia. Yeah, this one over here, Kyrgyzstan. I may have pronounced that wrong. You gotta excuse me. All right. So what I'm looking at is here's the play. Let me tell you what the play is. While everybody else is focused on 5G, it's like we talked about. 5G is gonna get an influx of cash, and it's gonna bump up. It's gonna put all the people are gonna bump up from 4G. Let's say in like the United States, right, or let's say in America. People are gonna gradually bump up from 4G to 5G. That's gonna be the new thing. So what that's gonna do now is that's gonna make 4G technology cheaper, right? It's gonna become cheaper because it's less in demand in the what I want to say, technologically advanced parts of the world, like China, like America, and like Europe, or let's say UK. You know what I mean? Places that are already on that level for a long time, where 4G was already the thing. They're gonna be gradually progressing to 5G, which means, you know, China's already doing a thing, so they're already technologically advanced. So guess what? There's this whole, I'm not gonna say Russia's not in the loop, they are, but there's this whole middle ground between China, Russia, and there's parts of Africa, but Africa's pretty developed with their network, so they're in Africa as well too. Don't forget that. Now that whole area between where you could say most of Europe and China, it's gonna be like the next developing. Not even say developing, because it's not like they don't have infrastructure and skyscrapers and stuff too. Don't get that picture in your mind. I'm not trying to say, because they they do that with Africa, right? Show you the animals and the land and stuff, and you're like, oh man, Africa's not, but they don't show you the cities and all that stuff. You gotta go search for them. But there's population there, and there's people, and there's development. Now what China's done is, when you get out into companies, we could even say small companies or small mom and pop businesses. When you get out into rural China, like, I haven't been there, but I'm saying, when you get out to rural China, there's not like a bunch of ATMs and banks. You know what I mean? So the reason why these small mom and pops and these other businesses are able to thrive under basically the conditions is because they can access their banking situation and their commerce through their cell phones. Big technology boom for them. So now they can do their little PayPal, their Cash App, whatever. They can exchange goods with other people in their village or in their wherever, and not have to worry about going to the bank or any of that stuff alone. That's hugely influential of growth and development of their economy and their local markets. I think that's a huge service for the business. So now, when you apply just that alone to, let's go back and look at these countries here. Russia, we know there's some outlying parts of Russia out in the middle of nowhere. You know what I mean? Pakistan, Ukraine is really a developing economy there. They're really important, just as much as Pakistan. We saw Pakistan had a power outage a while ago. It was like, and that's when it dawned on me, I'm not gonna say their significance, but the significance of their population. They had like 200 million people there, and in a blackout. Now, it wasn't so much that they had a blackout. It was the fact that Pakistan, I got to look and do some research to see what size it actually is compared to America. But they got 200 million people in Pakistan, right? Alone. So, this area right here is going to greatly benefit from now what's going to be able to be a really cheap infusion of what we, the more technologically advanced societies, have been taking for granted for years now. So as we push into 5G, they're going to get pushed into 4G, and it's going to be a really great thing for them. Let's take a look at what they have here as far as why I'm so excited about this opportunity. They got their Jazz Cash, right? So Jazz Cash is Pakistan's leading digital payments platform with around 10 million monthly active users and a clear strategy to improve financial inclusion. Currently, an estimated 100 million people, nearly half of Pakistan's population, remain unbanked. So think about when Cash App first came around and people were like, Cash App, man, what's that, man? Nah, I ain't getting on that shit. It's crazy. Like, and now everybody got Cash App. You know what I'm saying? You paying this one Cash App. You sending friends and family money on Cash App. Damn, I don't feel like going to an ATM. You got Cash App. You know what I mean? Whatever it is. So an estimated 100 million people, or half the population, doesn't even have a bank to begin with. Like, not even on Cash App. So this is going to be huge for them to help them, when they don't have a bank because, like I said, whatever, they got tons of reasons, I'm sure. But one of the bigger ones is probably there's not a bank close by. So it's not like here where you can just, even though you might have to travel a mile or a couple miles, there's an ATM. Basically, you could walk to one pretty much almost, unless you're way out in the country somewhere. But you could walk to an ATM no matter where you're at, even if it was just a couple miles. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that in these countries. So once they realize, hey, I could do this trip one time, put some of my money in the bank, I don't know how much they trust the banks over there or not. I don't know if that's part of it or whatever. But aside from stuff like that, they can say, hey, I can put my money in the bank and now I can conduct business off my phone. And all I need to do, all I need to do is get a phone, because we're going to talk about that in a minute. So boom, that's going to be an explosion. Pakistan, all these other places we just looked at, China's doing it. This is how China's growing their merchants on the village level and the not the city level but the outskirts level and everything. So it says here, JazzCash offers a broad portfolio of banking services including money transfers, bill payment, debit card, insurance, savings, ticketing, food delivery, government and corporate payments. Bam. Right? These services are accessed through JazzCash, USSD channel, mobile application, and over 80,000 retail agents nationwide. More than 45,000 merchants can also accept payments through JazzCash QR or an online payment gateway solution. That alone is going to be powerful. So the uptake of the digital payments platform has resulted in 1 billion plus transactions amounting in 2 trillion PKR since mid 2019. 2 trillion of their dollars in a year and a half has gone through this system. So they're getting pennies off of it somewhere or another, right? So let's get back to what we're looking at here. Okay, so that's just JazzCash, right? Now remember, this is all them. This isn't like, we work with this company, that company. This is all them. Toffee, that's Bangladesh's #1 video streaming app. So I guess Toffee, is that their YouTube? Is that their Netflix? I guess it's more like their Netflix. I don't know. I haven't watched it. But they have Bangladesh's #1 video streaming app. So since launching in November 2019, Toffee has quickly become Bangladesh's premier video streaming app, taking the first spot within 4 months for entertainment apps in Bangladesh's Google Play Store entertainment category. Unlike most other video streaming apps in Bangladesh, Toffee is accessible to everyone and it's absolutely free, right? Free is good. They're gonna get that. They're gonna run it up. So Toffee currently has 100 national and international live TV channels. So let me get this straight. You pay how much a month for cable? You pay how much a month to watch TV? Toffee has currently 100 national and international live TV channels, along with a large collection of local video on demand. So I guess that's like a merger of YouTube. And so it's like YouTube and Netflix combined. Is that what I'm seeing here? Any user across Bangladesh can watch live TV shows, movies, dramas, and music videos through Toffee. You talking about they get ready to explode. This was just launched in 2019 at the end of the year, right? So it launched right at the time COVID happened. So you know it's buzzing right now. You know everybody that don't even have a cell phone is trying to get a cell phone just so they can watch Toffee. You see what I'm saying? All right, let's see what else we talking about here. This is gonna be huge. I'm trying to tell you. I'm grabbing 1,000 shares. So now you got Beeline TV, right? Now, if Toffee didn't float your boat, now they got Beeline TV as a highly personalized, targeted TV media service combining live TV and VOD. Here we go again, video on demand in one intuitive customer interface. So I guess maybe Bangladesh has their own thing. They got Toffee. It's a Bangladesh thing. You know what I'm saying? But then all of the Beeline mobile network on all those different markets has the option to get Beeline TV. So this service is accessible via mobile devices, iOS and Android, smart TV, set-up boxes, Android TV, Apple TV, and web. So now they got their own TV network too, right? So content composition, elegant combination of linear TV, 350 plus local, regional, and international channels, and video on demand, 85,000 plus pieces of content, movie, all that good stuff. So advanced services is seamless access across multiple screens, supporting constant watching and download to go functionality. So you can watch on your computer, your TV, take it with you on your commute, on your cell phone, etc., etc., etc. You know what I'm saying? You already know what this is. All right, so customer profile, Discovery 2.0, customer profile. Look at this. Big data. That's always a key word. And machine learning based targeting and recommendations. True OTT. All right, so accessible through any internet channel from any connectivity provider on any contemporary internet connected device. Like, okay, you don't even need our phone. You don't want to buy our phone, fine. You're going to get our fucking TV service and call it a day, all right? We're still got something to sell you. We're going to sell you something. You know what I'm saying? All right, so, and then you got Beeline, which if you look at, now here's a cool thing. This right here, Ukraine's modern digital economy combines a flourishing IT outsourcing industry with an increasing number of internet users and smartphone owners. So check this out. As 4G availability, listen to how this sounds, knowing that we've been focusing on the rollout of 5G, right, for over a year now. Listen to how this sounds. As 4G availability and usage increases around the country, demand for data services is growing rapidly. You see what I'm getting at? Like, exactly how we're looking like, yo, 5G, the new thing, man. Oh, man, the iPhone just came out. It's got 5G already. Yeah, man, I can't wait. Oh, man, I don't want it because they're going to be doing this and that. Whatever. It's 5G's coming. Like, they over there like, yo, 4G, man, 4G. Yo, I got the new phone, got 4G. I can't wait till they put the towers on. We're going to have 4G. You know what I mean? Like, they're at the same entry point of 4G as we are, pretty much. I mean, well, you know, very little sectors got 5G. They may have bigger areas that have 4G, but it was like more expensive, more whatever. Now, 4G is going to be the new thing for them, rolling out to their whole countries, all of those countries. So, anyway, as 4G availability and usage increases around the country, demand for data services is growing rapidly. So they got that part locked down too, right? check that out. Look, this, I'm not even going to try to pronounce. Well, let me try. Kyivstar. That's how I would say it. Tell me how you was phonetically spell it out, sound it out in the comments below. Oh, and guys, listen, peeps, if you're watching this video with me and you're dropping comments on the live, like, I'm going to figure out a setup. Maybe I got to get another screen or something. Like, I'm growing. You guys know this is a relatively new channel. Thank you for all the growth pains and dealing with me through that. I'm going to figure out the proper way because, of course, there's a way I could do it, but I like to just set it up and do things the right way. So I may need to get another screen or something or whatever I figure out, but I'm going to set it up so that sooner than later I'll be able to monitor the comments as I'm doing this because you guys know it's been with me long term. I really wasn't concerned about the comments now. I was putting out the content live because that's how it's easy for me to do it. And then people could watch it whenever they got around to it. So as the channel's been growing, I'm actually getting a lot more feedback, and I want to be able to potentially engage with that as well. So give me some time. I work out the logistics of how I want to do that, how it's going to work for me, and set that all up, and we'll go from there. So if you're commenting, I don't see it, so don't think I'm ignoring you. And we're gonna keep it moving here. So Kyivstar is Ukraine's #1 mobile operator, right? Founded in 1994, the company is one of the largest contributors to the national economy. First of all, that part. And regularly cited as a top employer. So if you work for Kyivstar, it's like you work for the government. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Kyivstar offers, like, you got the government pension, you got the government benefits, like you are the if you work for Kyivstar over there. All right, we're the largest contributor to the national economy, buddy. You know what I'm saying? All right, so Kyivstar offers affordable, reliable, and high-quality data-centric tariffs and digital services with a focus on its continued rollout of 4G. Look at this, which began in 2018. You see what I'm saying? Like, they were just rolling out 4G in 2018. Do you know how big this is going to be for them in that whole vicinity from Africa to Russia to all the stand countries? You see what I'm saying? Man, y'all don't get, man, this is getting ready to be huge. And they got the whole thing on lock, right? So anyway, let's see what else here. I told you, I spent all weekend looking for something, and this is what I found for you. You know, you could say it's only one. You could say it may not be an immediate pop today or whatever, but this is going to be huge. So that Beeline, this is what they got their foot in. They got it in Russia, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan. Yep, that's Stan, Georgia. And you know they got all those other countries we mentioned earlier. And then that's like their phone retail place, people. You know, it's like, that's like their, where you go to the store and buy your cell phone and all that stuff, I think. So with this one, right, it is Banglalink. Banglalink. So more than half of Bangladesh's large population now has some form of mobile phone subscription. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, think about how much we've taken this for granted. You may not have had the iPhone 25, but you had a phone. You see what I'm saying? Since like you were a kid, you know what I mean? Like most of us. I was like one of the first millennials, so you know, I was like, I'm an 80s baby, literally 80. So it's like, I remember going to the store and buying my first cell phone when the screen only showed words. And my mom told me no. Mother told me no. She wasn't going to get me a cell phone. And, you know, I was doing things that maybe you were or weren't doing when I was young. So I went to the store and bought my own cell phone from Best Buy, purposely opened the box because you couldn't return it then. Even called Sprint and said, hey, can you activate it? Knowing they were going to tell me no because you had to be 18 to have a contract. And then I said, hey, Mom, I know you're not going to let me waste this money. So activate my phone. So, and that's how I got my first cell phone. But what I'm getting at is we have been taking this for granted for so long. These countries are just basically being given a similar opportunity now. So no, this may not go to $10 tomorrow, but when it starts to move, it's going to move. You know what I'm saying? And so here we go. 1/3 of the population is young and urban, right? So despite comparatively low smartphone and internet usage rates, there is a potential for substantial digital growth and technological progress. And that's basically that whole area. Like all of those countries over there is in the same boat, and they got their tentacles in it all. You know what I'm saying? So Banglalink's brand slogan, "Start something new," embodies the company's core objective of empowering customers by providing them with accessible and affordable communications to start their digital journey. The company also invests in higher speed networks to increase and improve digital access. To them, the higher speed network is now you're going to be able to get 4G. So everybody's great. The same way you're thinking about 5G, they're looking at 4G. This is going to be huge. This is going to be huge, okay? What else do I want to show you? Was it here? No, it wasn't that. Sustainability reports and data. All right. So the total revenue was 8.9 billion, right? Where was it at? Like, it's a lot. Like, you can feel free to, matter of fact, you guys can come and check this out on your own. But it was a spot on here where it was talking about how basically you figure they got the lockdown on the region, but a lot of the people now are just getting introduced to the opportunity of this communication on this level, the ability to be able to bank. So although they had what it said, 214 million customers, then the people, and look, it said, where was it at? Here you go, right? 214 million customers. Now, Pakistan alone had 200 million people. So what I'm getting at is by the time they actually get it together, and not them, they're ready, but by the time the population of that whole area, all of those stand countries, Georgia, Bangladesh, all those countries we just heard, Russia, how many million people Russia got? Anyway, what I'm getting at is by the time all of those people get ready and say, you know what, I'm converting to 4G, whether it's a phone, whether it's the ability to pay your bills on the phone, all the jazz cash, whatever it is, that's going to grow and expand. They have a lock pretty much on that whole region. They're already the 9th largest. What do you think is going to happen when they start putting up all those 4G towers all over the Africa to Russia? Right now, you can get in for $1.80 a share. Pasha Pyro, White at 7. Thank you for tuning. The replay. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get all this good content. I look for your comments below. Peace.